Welcome to Mock the Week. I'm Dara O'Brien. The year's only just underway, but already a number of politicians are in trouble. Charles Kennedy was forced to resign after admitting he has a drink problem. Last April, Kennedy was apparently so drunk that on several occasions he was seen stopping passers-by in the street and claiming that the Lib Dems could win the election. Kennedy admits that he now looks back and cringes with shame. Imagine how he'd feel when he finally sobers up and realises he was leader of the Liberal Democrats. Education Secretary Ruth Kelly is under fire for allowing sex offenders to become teachers. This must be a modern phenomenon. I never had any problems when I was at school with our music teacher, Father Glitter. George Galloway entered the Big Brother house and caused uproar when he pretended to be a cat. Galloway told his fellow contestants, 1.5 billion Muslims know who I am. Yes. In the most remote fishing villages of Indonesia, they're all saying, look, it's that twat of Big Brother. Meanwhile, the trial of Abu Hamza finally began. It took the police 18 months to find enough evidence to build a case, although 17 of those months were spent looking for fingerprints. Joining me tonight to work their way through a series of satirical games are 6 of the country's finest comedy performers. John Oliver, Rory Bremner and Andy Parsons, Frankie Boyle, Hugh and Joe Brand. Welcome to you all. Let's kick off with a game called This Is the Answer, What is the Question? On the board are 6 categories relating to current events. For each category, I read out an answer and the players have to guess what the question might be. John, let's start with you. Do you want to choose?
Yeah, I'll take media.
OK. Media. The answer is a vampire, a lab assistant and a cat. What is the question?
Here's the question. After what book did most people agree that C.S. Lewis had lost it?
Is it what do Bananarama look like now?
Is it who have all been approved for teaching posts this week?
Is it in an early and terrible translation of the Bible? What did the wise men give the infant Jesus?
Was it Harry's 3 original choices before he plumped for a Nazi uniform?
How are Turkey planning to combat bird flu?
Who responded to Anne Widdecombe's Lonely Hearts ad?
What were the 3 disguises of the less successful News of the World undercover reporters?
No, but there were disguises.
It's a Big Brother thing, isn't it?
It is a Big Brother thing.
Or Big Broadmoor, as I like to call it.
This is what they wore in their fancy dress now?
It's not what they all wore, no.
Is it...
Galloway had to be a cat. Did he not?
He did.
That's how cats go. Yeah. it's like an adult version of Old MacDonald. How do vampires go, Q?
There you go.
And to top it all off, the pièce de résistance, do your lab assistant.
Well, it's turned blue.
It's quite brilliant. Those 3 guys were all taken by one person.
By Galloway, weren't they?
They were all Galloway. The actual question is, what are 3 of the characters George Galloway played during his stint in the Big Brother house?
They've been quite unfair to him, actually, because, you know, he sort of says... people say, oh, he's making himself look stupid. But actually, you know, I'm being censored. They're cutting on my bed. You will have only seen me as a cat. What you didn't see, I was also an owl, a lemur and a Portuguese man of war. Oh, yes. Is the West not ready for that?
But isn't the thing that people are sort of saying that he's made a fool of himself in the Big Brother house? But I actually think he's now got more dignity than normal. It would have been good to see him address the Senate inquiry as a cat. Senator, hello! Why isn't it warm in here?
See, actually, specifically as Top Cat, you're saying.
Well, I don't have a broad range of cat impressions, I don't know.
It's a murgatroyd.
George Galloway this week, apparently, although he was in the Big Brother house, he still managed to sign his name in at the House of Commons for a debate.
Yeah, he did. He signed
An early day motion.
an early day motion, yeah.
What, did Jimmy Savile bring it in or something?
Smuggled it in.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Diary room, yeah.
Oh, have I got something for you? Maybe he asked for it. That's why Jimmy came. He said, "Dear Jim, you say, you're a sad man. Letter here from George. What says, please could you bring me an early day ordered paper?"
The band was Shawadi.
You're right, it is just mad people they have in the house now. It is just lunatics they put in
See,
the house.
I suspect they're not actually going to vote people out anymore. They're going to let them out under licence from the Home Office.
How long will it take before they just killed each other and started electing a leader and develop their own society within the house?
No, you're talking about the Liberal Democrats now. I think that's what the Liberal Democrats should do anyway. I think they should actually hold the thing. Because, I mean, the candidates, half the candidates I haven't heard of, I mean, they make the celebrities in the Big Brother house look like celebrities.
Of course, Michael Barrymore's there going, isn't he? Oh, you can call me a lousy entertainer, but you can't call me a killer. Somebody died whilst he was hosting a party in his own house. He is definitely a lousy entertainer.
When accused of dealing in Iraqi oil, Galloway famously told his Senate committee that he'd never even seen a barrel, owned one, bought one or sold one, although he has been scraping the bottom of one for quite a while now. The live feed from the Big Brother house operates on a 15-minute delay, which led to confusion when Jimmy Savile came in, as he operates on a 30-year delay. Didn't know who won the very first game of the very first show. What the hell? I'll give points to both of you. Give them all a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. The next round is called Between the Lines. Rory and Hugh, can you make your way to our Mock the Week press pit, please? In this round, one player takes the role of a famous person making a speech, while the other says what they really mean. Rory, you are the former Lib Dem leader Charles Kennedy giving his resignation speech.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Can I first of all say how good it is to see so many of you here today?
I can't see any of you here today.
But I think it's a great thing that so many of you come here on such an important occasion.
You bastards.
As you know, I've got a few things I'd like to get off my chest.
My name is Charles, and I am an alcoholic.
As I've said before, we've had a great year, and I think we've now got as many as 62 Liberal Democrat MPs.
It's probably 31, and I'm seeing double.
And that's why I've taken the very difficult decision that I should go.
That is why they have taken the very difficult decision that I should go.
Having said that, I think it's very important that the decision as to a future leader should go to as many people as possible in the wider party.
Stop Ming. Stop Ming!
Well, having said that, I think any of the candidates would make an excellent leader.
Stop Ming!
In conclusion, could I just say I think the Liberal Democrats are in a healthy state. I think we can go on, place ourselves strategically in a good position and go on from strength to strength and learn from this.
I love you.
Well done, Jimbo. Well done. Points go to Rory there. Now we play a round called Stand Up, Sit Down. It's for John, Joe, Andy and Frankie. If you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is a stand-up challenge based on this random news generator, which contains 4 newsworthy topics. You spin the wheel, and when it stops, anyone can step forward and try to make us laugh about the subject it's landed on. If I judge that the player has got a big enough laugh, he or she is safe and gets to sit down again. The first team to have all its players sitting down at the desk wins the round. OK, here we go. OK, the subject is alternative energy sources. Who's going to come in? John.
Despite what the government say, we do not need nuclear power in Britain. There are many great new alternative energies out there. Much of the Middle East is currently able to harness the power generated by hating America. Every flat burnt there is now hooked up to an enormous generator which can power a fridge in Tehran for a week. And this is renewable energy, because America have pledged under Kyoto to produce a new flag for every one burnt. So, in winding the entire planet up, they are in fact pioneers in easing our reliance on fossil fuels. And we've got to do something. Britain is now so terrified of any rise in petrol prices that people in Britain have been seen at recent oil slicks wedging seagulls directly into their petrol tanks, screaming, "I've got to get to work! Keep still and tuck your wings in!"
Well done, John. Please, sit down. Right, let's spin the wheel again. OK, the subject is the unfit society. Who's going to come in?
Yeah, right. I'm one of those unfit people. I'm in my 40s. I've done no exercise since I was naught. And panicked recently. Went to see my GP and said, look, what can I do so I don't die when I'm 50? And he said, well, exercise-wise, start slowly, do something 2 or 3 times a week that gets you slightly out of breath. So, started smoking again.
Joe, sit down. Very good. OK, Frankie and Andy, you're going to go head-to-head on this topic. Let's spin the wheel again. OK, it's the war on terror. Who wants to go first? Andy?
Yes, the war on terror. The Americans have said, you know, they're worried that Iraq is their new Vietnam. Let's hope not. Otherwise, we're in for some shit movies in about 10 years' time. But new Labour to combat the war on terror, they've decided we're now going to have our new FBI-style police squad. Quite why they're so impressed by the FBI, I don't know. The FBI actually knew before September the 11th that various people were learning how to fly in America, but who had no interest in learning how to take off or land. How many possibilities does that entail? Your driving instructor would be pretty suspicious if you said, I'd like to learn to drive. They said, OK, start the car. And you said, no, you start the car. Get it up to 4th, I'll jump in.
Good man, Andy. Well done. Andy Parsons there. On the same topic, Frankie, it's your turn.
Apparently, in America, they're building a big tower on the site of September 11th, Freedom Tower, and they're looking at ways of trying to make it terrorist-proof. I think they should have just built a giant mosque. No one's going to fly into that, are they? Or even better, a runway. How galling would it be if you hijacked a plane and then had to come in and make a textbook landing? They're always going, oh, don't deal with terrorists. We mustn't deal with terrorists. Let's deal with them. What's Al offering you boys? 100 virgins? We'll give you 50 slags. Or 2 women from Dundee.
Well done, Frankie. It's been very close. I think Frankie wins that for his team. Well done. This next round is called Headliners. I show the teams a photo of someone who's been making the news this week, along with the initial letters of a newspaper headline. The teams have to tell me what the letters should stand for. Here's a picture of David Cameron. So what does CIST stand for?
Cameron impersonates sensitive Tory.
Is it caution, imminent spectacular trick? He's heading towards a ramp and he's got the shadow cabinet to lie next to each other and set the first 3 of them on fire. He's a breath of fresh air in politics, Cameron.
Is it crotch in saddle trap?
Or is it simply the word cyst, and that's why he's having to stand up on his bicycle?
Cameron in stabilisers test?
It's to do with how another politician sees him.
Is it second Thatcher?
No, it's not.
Second Tony.
Is it Cameron is serious threat?
Yes, it is. Very, very good. Correct. It is Cameron is serious threat.
Not likely to be on that bicycle, though, is he?
This comes from Tony Blair's recent interview in The Observer, where he admitted voters were faced with a more interesting Conservative Party who would certainly give his party a real contest.
He's a serious threat to me because he's not very distinctive. He's not a very distinctive voice, and he does Tony Blair much better than I do. But weirdly, if you look at him actually, because he's got three things. Because he talks Tony Blair's language, but he sounds like Mandelson, and he's got that Michael Howard thing going on with his mouth. So, all three of them. For the price of one.
Because people don't know what his voice is.
No, if you play a tape of David Cameron, you know, if you did it now, you wouldn't really, you know, it's not really distinctive. It just sounds like Peter Mandelson.
So you could presumably just do anything.
I'm just going to recycle
David Cameron. Hello. The Conservatives, loving that. And people go, it's very accurate. It really is. It's quite impressive.
But at least they brought back William Hague, so that's a bit of good news.
Should he develop some sort of speech impediment or something?
Definitely, yeah.
I'm David Cameron. Whee!
What speech impediment is that?
Something really
That, and let me tell you, is the sound of someone having a colonoscopy up their arse.
But not when it's expected, surely, yeah. Surely one of those kind of sneak colonoscopies. Dim, 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 bing, whee!
We do know a few things about Cameron, don't we? I mean, he was very evasive about the drugs issue when he was at university, and his quote was, wasn't it, it doesn't matter what I got up to at university, because when I was at university, I didn't know I was going into politics. Well, he must have had a reasonable idea, because at university, he studied politics.
Do you know what's on his music collection? He let this slip last week.
It's the Smiths. His favourite album is the Smiths' The Queen Is Dead.
Yes.
Whoa!
And his second favourite album is Woo!
No, he did say The Queen Is Dead was his favourite album, and then he had to, and then he caught himself and to go, well, clearly I don't concur with the sentiments. Although I do believe you should hang the DJ, hang the DJ, hang the DJ.
What's the point of having a caring Tory? Isn't the point of being the leader of the Tory party is that you get to be an evil bastard? Come on, the poor, prepare your arse cheeks for a pounding. Isn't this just like sort of Darth Vader turning to the Emperor and going, I'm not sure about the environmental consequences of the Death Star, Your Excellency. This is a forest moon we'll be ruining.
His true colours will come shining through as soon as in the House of Commons he turns up one day and spins round in a swivel chair stroking a cat.
Eton-educated David Cameron told Radio 1 that his favourite group is the Smiths, or as he calls them, the Harrington Smides. David Cameron's wife, Samantha, has a tattoo of a dolphin on her ankle, although sadly it keeps getting caught in her fishnets. All of which is very pleasant, but I think the winners that round were Andy, Rory and John. Our next round is called Dating Videos. The players take on the identity of a famous newsmaker and record a Lonely Hearts video in the style of that person. Everyone else has to try and guess who they are. So, Hugh, you're up first. Please, can you take your position in the performance area? Let's see your dating video.
Hi. I've got a confession to make. I've been looking for a man for a while now, but you know how it is.
There's no way I can keep that up. I've been looking for a man for some time now, but you know how it is. There's always something wrong. Everyone I pick seems to be on the sex offenders register. I've got to go now. I'm giving a job interview to Dara's old teacher, Father Glitter. Give me a ring sometime. From next week, I'll probably be at my home number.
Any guesses who it is?
Is it Dame Margot Fontaine?
It started out as Margot Fontaine, yes.
Ruth Kelly?
It's Ruth Kelly, all right. Well done, Ruth Kelly. Hugh, come back here. Yes, it was Education Secretary Ruth Kelly. The Department of Education's list of sex offenders is known as List 99, so-called, because everyone on it is a stranger who's offered children an ice cream in the last 3 years. To be fair to those teachers, it's sometimes not easy to tell if some of the girls are over 16. Here's a clue. They're in your class.
But Ruth Kelly said that she wanted to give this group of people the benefit of the doubt. She seems to be mistaking this sex offenders register with the offside rule. Level is on.
It's unfair, though, isn't it? Because let's be honest, a lot of teachers look like paedophiles. I mean, if it's for the geography department, it's going to be really hard to tell.
Apparently, you're not supposed to do it by how they look.
It's what they feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be creepy, though, wouldn't it, getting your homework back and they've drawn a cock on it?
Take it from someone, I'm in Ireland, all we did was move them to another parish and life went on. Worked for 40 years. 40 years, at least, that's it.
Well, talking of Gary Glitter, of course, he was a man who got caught, didn't he? Because he took his computer to have it mended back at PC World. What an idiot the man was. That would be like Jeffrey Dahmer taking his freezer back to Curry's. Or Fred West taking his patio back to B&Q.
Now, Rory, can you please make your way over to the performance area? And when you're ready, please can we see your dating video?
Hello. Well, I'm Swedish, but then so is IKEA. Are you looking for a long-term relationship with lots of commitment? Nor am I. Maybe just your little summer romance till take us through the World Cup. I always have the second week free. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. You can read the rest in the papers. I work hard, I play hard, I like to try out new people in different positions. In the evening, I like to curl up with a nice Italian, and I think I could manage you as well.
Any guesses there?
Could it be Sven-Göran Eriksson?
Oh. Congratulations, Rory. Sit down. Yes, that was Lonely Heart Sven-Göran Eriksson, who this week became the latest big name to be duped by the News of the World's fake sheikh, Mazhar Mahmood. What was the stupidest thing Sven said to the News of the World?
Peter Crouch is world class.
He's got a lovely touch. For a big man. How many times are we going to hear that over the next few months? For a big man, he's got an amazing touch. For a big man, his touch is amazing. For a big fella, you can't fault his touch.
I'm just speaking as a 6'4" man here, that we all get slightly retarded over 6'2". And your tendency to go, ooh, it's a bit high, thump. If I was up once in a nightclub being told, God, you're not a bad dancer, as if it would be difficult for me to lumber around the floor. Rhythm makes me move.
Well, that's because you have a light touch for a big man, you see?
Parsons, you've thrown it back at me again.
What the hell were the News of the World up to, trying to muck up our chances before the World Cup? Don't try and do a sting on the England manager. Do a sting on the Brazilian manager and do it on the day the World Cup starts.
According to The Sun, Sven said about Wayne Rooney, he's just a poor boy from a poor family. He moved on to say, Mamma mia, let me go. To which an FA spokesman replied, to Villa, no, we will not let you go. Sven also said he could get David Beckham to come and live in Birmingham. Mind you, David thinks Birmingham is in Spain because they have a bouldering there. Well, for that, my friend, the winners of this round are clearly Frankie, Hugh and Joe. Now we come to our final quick fire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you can make your way over to the performance area, I call out ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come back in with their suggestions. And in the week that Prince William started at Sandhurst, the first subject is the wrong things to say on your first day in the army.
You guys look great.
When they said it was going to be just like the movies, I didn't realise they meant Brokeback Mountain.
This room's great. Where are the rest of you sleeping?
I beg your pardon. Drop and give me 20, please. You will get nothing by shouting.
Can I have a cuddle?
This is just one weekend a month, right?
So does Teddy get his own bunk?
If you play your cards right, you might be able to stand outside one of Grandma's palaces.
OK, the next topic is some pointers for Sven here, possibly. Bad things for the England manager to be caught saying.
Can you just explain the offside rule again to me?
Well, the thing about Crouch is that he's got a very light touch for a big man.
Wayne Rooney may be ugly, but when he holds me in his arms, I feel safe.
I want you to go out there and give it your best for the full 60 minutes.
I'll just name the side I think can win the World Cup. It's Brazil.
Sweden! Sweden!
OK, the next topic is ill-advised things for a Lib Dem leadership candidate to say.
Hello, I'm Charles Kennedy.
Let me reassure all of you, the only skeletons that I have in my closet are the skeletons of the two people that I killed on a skiing holiday over 15 years ago.
It's Mingus.
Sorry I'm late. I had trouble finding a vein.
As the son of God.
I tell you the best thing about being a Liberal Democrat, the bitches.
Oh, what's the point?
And on that, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for all the people. Andy is the winner there. That's the end of the show. This week's winners are Andy, Rory and John. Commiserations to Frankie, Hugh and Joe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Good night.
And Dara O'Brien's got a new series of The Last Laugh tomorrow at 11:10 on BBC 3.